The Chicago Bulls will have the #1 pick. The place is ready. The commissioner is ready. Here is NBA Commissioner David Stern.
Good evening, and welcome to the 1999 NBA Draft at the MCI Center in Washington, D.C., the home of the NBA's Wizards and the Mystics of the WNBA. To our fans around the world, watching on television, listening on radio, or surfing the internet, thank you for joining us. And to our many fans gathered here tonight, we appreciate your strong and enthusiastic turnout. Let's get started. The first pick in the 1999 NBA Draft will be made by the Chicago Bulls, who have 5 minutes to make their selections.
A rousing ovation for the Chicago Bulls as they are on the clock. 5 minutes between picks in the first round, 2 minutes between picks in the second round. The NBA Draft for 1999 is underway. Thanks for being with us, folks. We'll be right back at you in a minute.
What's taking them so long?
Anywhere you go, I think, will be an improvement for the Chicago Bulls. We have assigned Kenny Smith, my colleague in the Atlanta studio for so many nights, to find out what the Bulls are going to do. The Jet, it's all yours.
Well, EJ, if you're the Chicago Bulls, I think it's going to be too tempting to pass up on Lamar Odom. Here's a guy who can play 5 positions. You talk about having a weak draft. You don't have that in this draft, I don't believe. I don't think there's any guy that can play 5 positions like Lamar Odom can. So I think he's going to be too much of a tempting situation for Chicago to take him. Now, what do you do with the other 3 picks that you have in the first 2 rounds if you're Chicago? Now you just pick the best available players, and this is when the reconstruction of the Chicago Bulls start, and it starts tonight. Odom, a guy, when he was 12 years old, Ernie, he was 6'3". Then he grew 7 inches. I used to watch him play at 12 years old. He's a point guard. Now he's a top 10, 6'10" point guard and a big man in a point guard's body. So I think he's great for this organization.
And a guy that you don't want any part of. Is that correct, Kenny?
No, I don't want to guard him at all, even when he was 6'3".
All right, we'll be back at you in a while up there in Chicago. Hubie, what about the situation with the Chicago Bulls and the process of rebuilding that team?
Well, I think you have to look at it and say that the only quality player remaining is Kukoc, who's under contract. You have Simpkins, Winnick.
All right.
Ed, there must be 50 customers out there. It's unbelievable.
Harper and Brown. So if they allow all of these guys to go, well, now they are starting from scratch. So whether you go with Lamar Odom or whether you go with Brand, you have to build up front first.
The commissioner is ready with the first pick in the draft. Let us go to the podium and hear who the Bulls have taken.
With the first pick in the 1999 NBA Draft, the Chicago Bulls select Elton Brand from Duke University.
You might hear some boos in the arena here at the MCI Center. That is only natural when Steve Francis plays in the backyard, and a lot of folks here were hoping it would be that dramatic a situation that Steve Francis of Maryland would be chosen, but kudos to Elton Brand of Duke University, the first pick in the NBA Draft of 1999. And this guy, I know, Hubie, you saw a lot of him at with the Goodwill Games team in New York when they won the gold medal.
Well, you're dealing with a guy who's 6'8", who has a reach of 9'2". So he is a great back-to-the-basket post-up shooter. He shot 62% this year from Duke. He's got all of the moves with his back-to-the-basket, and he can hit that 15 to 17-foot shot on the baseline. An excellent pick, a quality person.
I walked into a recreation center in Washington just leisurely watching games, and Elton Brand was in there working. I walked into a weight room in Washington. Elton Brand was in there lifting. I think that's a great choice, and I think he's going to be tremendous.
He's got a lot of strength, and I like the fact that he'll be able to get to the foul line and the post, but he'll also be able to run the floor. He's a good runner of the floor, and he has outstanding hands, perhaps the best hands in the draft. He catches everything. There you see him. He's got that nice space to his shot, and he uses his body. He's got great lower body strength.
And it certainly doesn't hurt that he's in the habit of winning, because Jerry needs a lot of help.
And that he does. Okay. But you can see right now he has beautiful hands, very soft, and then the great confidence to shoot with the back to the basket, the long reach and the fade away on the shot. It's extremely difficult to block. Solid choice by the Bulls.
Elton Brand is the first player from Duke ever chosen #1 in the draft, and it happens here in 1991. Craig Sager is standing by with the #1 pick in the draft. Craig.
Well, so much speculation, projections going into the draft. Jerry Krause kept the entire league in the dark. What about you? Did he tell you he was going to take you #1?
Not at all. I had the slightest idea. You know, I'm blessed. I feel great right now.
How do you respond or describe the pressure of leading the Bulls back into contention as a rookie?
You know, it's going to be a lot of pressure, especially being the #1 pick in the NBA draft, you know. But just going to have to face it like I face it on every level. So I'm just going to work hard and do my best.
After being named the National Player of the Year, Coach Thompson was talking about your work ethic. You didn't rest on your laurels. Talk about how you improved since the season.
You know, right after the season, Coach K and the Duke staff just helped me out. We worked very hard. And then I got a personal trainer, Kevin Masoka, that was referred to me by my agent, David Falk. So, you know, right from there, we started working hard again.
Why do you think the Bulls made you the #1 pick in the draft?
You know, I think, you know, because of the foundation that they're going to start, they're rebuilding, so they need you know, maybe a rebound and a solid defender, and also have some low post game.
You're used to winning. Are the Bulls going to be winners this year?
If not this year, very soon, but I think this year.
Congratulations being the #1 pick. Let's go back to Ernie.
All right, thank you, Craig. Elton Brand had a lot to say there, but he said the most, I think, with that one. What relief. It's all over. These guys have had butterflies for the last 3 days at least over who would be going where, and he's the #1 pick of the Chicago Bulls. Kenny Smith, we just talked to him moments ago. He is back there in Chicago, and he has got Jerry Krause, who did a great job of not letting anybody know what was going to happen. Kenny?
No, he didn't let anyone know what was going on. I just said that you were going to take Lamar Odom as you probably were walking down. Now, what was the difference and what was the deciding factor?
Well, it was a very tough decision, and Lamar's certainly a great player, and there were several great players in this draft, and we just came to a decision as an organization that we think Elton Brand's an outstanding player. That one of the nice parts of this whole thing was that a lot of players wanted to come to Chicago and wanted to play here, and we feel very good about that. And young Mr. Brand is tough, and he's got great character, and he's a young man that I think is going to work extremely hard. And as you know, Kenny, long arms, big hands. We've been an organization through the years that have done that, and we certainly feel very strongly about him as a person. He's just an outstanding person.
How do you see fitting in on this Bulls team, and what's his role going to be next year?
Well, you know, Kenny, he's going to be our 4. I think you'll see him be a 4 in this league for many, many years to come. The height is something that's very deceptive. He almost has no neck. He's 6'8", little over 6'8" in shoes, and certainly has that very short neck. So, and he's going to play a lot larger in the sense that he has the long arms and the huge hands and great soft hands. And we're very happy to have the young man with us.
Well, you have a great pick in #1, even though he's a Duke graduate and I'm a Carolina guy, but I still like the pick.
Well, you're both New Yorkers, too. So.
Riverside Church, exactly. Back to you, EJ.
All right, thank you, Kenny and Jerry. He wouldn't be the first professional athlete in Chicago with no neck. Remember, Walt No Neck Williams used to bat the leadoff for the Chicago White Sox years ago. Let us go to Peter Vesey real quick. Vancouver's on the clock.
All right, well, #2 by the Grizzlies, and I'm saying they're going to take Francis at #2, and then Charlotte is going to take Davis at #3, and then we're going to come to the tough decision. What will the Clippers do? They told me earlier today they might take Bender, or they might take Odom. Now, if they take Bender and he's already gone and he's supposed to be going to the Pacers at #5, then the Pacers are going to have to probably take Odom. So there's the hang-up at #4. Back to you.
Yeah, that would be a big whoops, my bad, what we meant. So anyway, Vancouver right now. Steve Francis, is he the guy?
Well, I think the way to look at Vancouver, they needed a power forward. Brand is not there, or they needed a shooting guard. So Francis is a perfect pick for them because in Francis you get a Joe Dumars type of a guy. He can play the point or he can play 2, and he can play it with either your first unit or your second unit.
The Vancouver Grizzlies coming off a year that saw them fail to hit double digits in wins. They were 8-42 in that lockout-shortened season. Their core of young players not bad, especially with Sharif Abdur-Rahim and Mike Bibby. Big Country Reeves needs to rebound from what was a terrible season, and their needs outside shooting and a power forward. And so the Vancouver Grizzlies are on the clock, and their time is up. Let's go to the commissioner.
With the second pick in the 1999 NBA Draft, the Vancouver Grizzlies select Steve Francis from the University of Maryland.
Steve Francis has his grandmother, cousins, a couple of brothers, stepdad, all in attendance. The roar you heard there was the roar these folks wanted to give out on the first pick when Elton Brand was selected by the Chicago Bulls. But the roar will go up as he makes his way down the hallway and out into the main area here at the MCI Center. Local product out of Tacoma Park and the University of Maryland. Talk about Steve Francis, second pick of the draft by the Vancouver Grizzlies, 6'2½", 195, another early entry candidate, leaving college after his junior year. A couple of good years of junior college, though rather anonymous playing there, but at Maryland he was an immediate impact guy.
Well, no question about it. And Stevie comes as close as any player that I've seen to being an Allen Iverson look-alike. I'm not saying he's as good as Allen, but I'm saying he has the same entertainment value. He works hard at both ends, and I think he's a workaholic just as Elton Brand is off of the court.
The question here would be, with Mike Bibby already a point guard in Vancouver, is he playing the two?
Yeah, but I think what you're doing here, Ernie, is you're taking a guy, your style of play now might be a little bit more pressure in the backcourt, and you can get away with two small guards. And they had to pick an outstanding talent, a guy who could score. Now remember, when we're looking at this draft, we never say that a player will not be traded between now and 12 o'clock tonight. So you never know what's in the full package and what a club is trying to do, because we know Vancouver, they have Cherokee Parks and Mike Smith at the power forward position, but they were also trying to get better at the four.
And I hope you saw the story that we ran before the draft began about Steve Francis losing his mother as a teenager and surrounded by family and friends tonight and overcoming that. And what a proud night it is for Steve Francis, who joins Craig Sager right now.
Well, the green room wasn't big enough. The table certainly wasn't. Steve Francis, 300 of your extended family here tonight. The draft in your hometown. What has it been like these past couple of days?
It's been really exciting for me. You know, leading up to the draft, I've always wanted to be a professional basketball player, and I'm just glad that I'm selected to be involved in the draft.
Obviously an honest and good faith passed on from your grandmother, Mabel Wilson, through your mother, Brenda, your late mother, onto you. You've been running this whole show all week. 28 grandchildren. One of your babies is going. You worry about him now, or is it one less headache? What do you think?
Miss him. No, he's never a headache. I'm going to miss him, but he's never gone from my heart. He might be in another state or town, but he's always with me.
What kind of pressures have been on the family this week with the draft here in the town? You having to entertain everybody?
It wasn't a negative pressure. It's been a positive pressure. And I'm happy for him, you know, and I wish him all the best and success.
We talked to her earlier. She said, be careful, be yourself, and call home. Don't forget to call your grandmother now from Vancouver.
I don't think that, you know, it'll be hard for me to be myself. I just want to be happy, you know, where I'm playing, and also, you know, do some of the things that I did in college that made me such a great basketball player, and I'm going to continuously do that.
All right, we have two down, but a lot more picks to go from a sold-out MCI Center and a big extended family of Steve Francis here. We'll continue our draft coverage from Washington here on TNT.
Here's a few suggestions for NBA doctors.
Phil's at the small forward position. So now in the backcourt, you're adding another quality guy. So you all have Eddie Jones, you have Wesley, and now you add Baron Davis. You got quality right now. He's joining an excellent ball club for next year, Ernie.
The most multifaceted scorer. He's extraordinarily powerful. He gets to the line. The problem is when he gets to the line, he's only knocking them down at 60%. He's definitely going to have to improve his foul shooting. He's such a weapon. He can score over you. He's got great hang time. and he has the ability to finish with a body on him.
We mentioned this moments ago, and you talk about the big moment in his career, and this was not on the upside, this was on the downside. This was in the NCAA tournament when he blew out his left knee, tore the anterior cruciate ligament, and the question remained, what kind of a player would he be when he came back? And he answered those in positive terms, John.
Well, I think you always have to be concerned, particularly when a smaller player who relies so much on speed gets hurt. But I love this kid's ego and determination and drive. And not only does he have point guard abilities, he's got the point guard ego. And I think that's extremely important in the point guard position.
One of my favorite clips right there behind the back and taking it to the rack. That is Baron Davis, who's the number 3 pick in the draft, taken by the Charlotte Hornets. 68 steals, the 4th highest single season total at UCLA. His dad named him Baron because his son would be like royalty someday. He's the number 3 pick in the draft, and he's with Craig.
Well, Baron, Ernie mentioned earlier that you're a West Coast guy, had dreams of playing in California. What happened when Bob Bass from Charlotte said last week, we're taking Baron Davis? Did that kind of make you feel they really wanted you?
Yeah, I heard a lot in the beginning about me going to the Clippers, and everybody said that, I was a number 4 lock to the Clippers. And then, when Bob Bass said that, that they wanted to take me at 3, then, it made me feel real good. I know they have a great coach in Paul Silas, and I also know they got some great guys in Anthony Mason, Derek Coleman, Eddie Jones, Edwin Campbell, some guys who can really play, and they're veterans, and they can help me a lot.
Well, today was named the fastest growing city in the United States, and there's 10,000 people at the Coliseum right now cheering the selections. They're very happy to have you. But this dream almost slipped away for you. A year ago, in the tournament, you tore your ACL. How tough was that physically and mentally to regain your confidence in your game?
It was real tough physically and mentally. I think mentally more than physically, because, it just really took a toll on me psychologically. I was working so hard and I wasn't getting the results that I would usually get from, the results that you get from hard work. And so, I just kept working, and, I talked to my family, and they prayed for me, and, they just gave me encouragement, and, I just really fought through it, and it taught me a lot of patience.
Well, you look good in the Hornets uniform, and you look mighty good in your game uniform tonight, too. Yeah, you look good. We'll be back as we continue the draft from the MCI Center in Washington.
What every business trip demands of you and what you deliver. It's also what you deserve. That's why American Express has introduced Points Accelerator, an exclusive new optional service offered with no other gold card. Instead of just 1 point for virtually every dollar you spend, Points Accelerator gives you 1.5 points every time. That's 50% more points to redeem with the Membership Rewards program. 50% more to fly with Canadian Airlines and its partners. 50% more to use for hotel stays worldwide. 50% more to travel almost anywhere in the world. And when you receive your gold card, you'll also receive 5,000 bonus American Express points. Just call 1-888-450-AMEX today. Apply for the gold card with optional Points Accelerator service now, so you can earn 50% more to travel more and...
When you're the owner of a new Pontiac Grand Am, you don't want anyone else to drive it. Ever. The all-new redesigned Grand Am from Pontiac, from $238 a month. Built for drivers.
I'll never forget my first jersey. The day I got it, for 6 months you couldn't pull that thing off me. I slept in it and I ate in it.
Yeah, me too.
It took me 12 years to earn that first jersey.
I got one overnight. I ordered it online, paid for it with my credit card. It was easy.
I feel that I'll be at ease a little bit just because I've dreamed to play professional basketball just about all of my life. So when I'm given the opportunity to represent a franchise, to represent a team, to represent a city, I think I will be at ease, and I'm ready to, fulfill my dreams of playing professional basketball.
Steve Francis, the local hero, went to Maryland and chosen number 2 by the Vancouver Grizzlies after Elton Brand was the number 1 pick. And the number 3 pick was Baron Davis by the Charlotte Hornets, a guy the LA Clippers had their eyes on. But Clippers are up now and Davis is already gone. Here's the commission.
With the 4th pick in the 1999 NBA draft, the Los Angeles Clippers select Lamar Odom from the University of Rhode Island.
Lamar Odom was raised by his grandmother, who at the age of 56 went back to school in 1980 to get her degree. She's a nurse and has been so instrumental in his life. And Lamar Odom, after 1 year at Rhode Island, coming out after his sophomore year, you heard Kenny Smith talk about the way he grew from 6'3" to 6'10". So he had all these point guard skills, and suddenly he's 6'10". He can do a lot of things.
Well, I like the pick, mainly because you have Olowokandi at the center position. You have Taylor, who had a great year at power forward. And now you add the small forward, Lamar Odom, and a guy who can intermingle. He can change positions from small forward to 2 guard. I like the pick because they're headed in the right direction with young guys up front who can play.
Rick, I know that you've played against him.
Right, I'll tell you, he stung us in Chicago. He's an intriguing player in this regard. He almost shoots better with a hand in his face than with not. He can get to his own shot off a middle game, and he's got the long ball game as well. He'll find your body and slither off of you. Another thing that's very difficult to defend him is he passes equally well out of the post as well as from the perimeter. He's great on that high angle feed into the post from outside, and he's an excellent passer down low. He will draw a double team and be mismatched in the NBA when he takes twos and threes inside.
Jim Herrick was his coach at Rhode Island. Here's his take on Lamar Odom.
Lamar Odom does everything a point guard does, only 6'10" and a quarter. He can handle it, pass it, dribble it, shoot it, defend it, long arms. I think his best position is a small forward position. He could play, and the second best position is a power forward because he's so good around the basket. I've always tried to recruit guys like that, and I define them as hard to guard, and he's very hard to guard.
John Thompson, tell me about Lamar Odom.
Well, the thing about Odom that concerns me is that the only thing more puzzling in this draft than who Jerry Krause was going to pick at Chicago was where Lamar Odom would show up and for what meeting. I think that he is a young person who's got to mature. I had an opportunity to talk with him today, and he was a very good person, but the perception you had of him before the draft was very questionable. So, you know, I know the ability is totally unquestioned. I mean, he's probably, as Hubie always says, the most talented player in this draft, but can he mature in a team that is not totally established is a big question to me right now.
A lot of folks have been wanting to hear from Lamar Odom. We're going to get that opportunity right now as he sits down with Craig Sager. Craig?
Well, Lamar, Coach Thompson mentioned all the uncertainty involving you the past couple of weeks, where you're going to work out, where you're going to go. Why so much skepticism, and why we're keeping people at bay?
Just the way it happened. Situation got a little chaotic, but now it's under control. Looking forward to be an LA Clipper. It's going to be a great year. Can't wait to get to LA and start working out. Hopefully I can be rookie of the year.
Now, you know, some people say he's Magic Johnson, a left-handed version. What do you do on the basketball court? And do you like that comparison or something you live up to in LA?
You know, I love it. It motivates me. Magic and Bird were my 2 favorite players. The way they control the game, the way they get other players involved, the way they're leaders, the way they love to win, and that's what I'm all about when I step on the basketball court.
Ernie Johnson mentioned that your grandmother got her degree at the age 56. I know that's the first one you hugged back there. What's this mean to her?
Everything. I made the promise to her that I would go back to school, and this is just a special situation for me and my family, and it's like what I've always been waiting for my whole life.
Congratulations. Great pick by the Clippers. Lamar Odom to L.A. Let's go back to Ernie.
Lamar Odom had a great first game in college at Rhode Island. 19 points, 14 rebounds, and 9 assists. You talk about an impact there, and he hit the game winner in a win over TCU. And so he is the pick of the Los Angeles Clippers, number 4 here in the first round. Let's check in again now with Peter Vesey. Pete?
Yeah, well, this is where the Raptors and the Pacers have their deal. Antonio Davis is going to go to the Raptors, and they're going to take Jonathan Bender at number 5 for the Pacers. And the reason that the Pacers are giving up Antonio Davis is, one, they think that Bender is going to be a star. Him and Odom, they thought, were the only stars in this draft, but also because Tony Davis told him that he wanted to start this year, and if he couldn't start for the Pacers, he wanted to be traded. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Peter. Meantime, we do have a correspondent in Toronto, and that is Norma Wick. And Norma's been listening to what we've got here and been talking to the folks up there in Toronto about the situation. And what's your take, Norma?
Well, certainly this trade would address what General Manager Glenn Grunwald called his biggest need, and that was veteran help up front. And of course, he inquired about the availability of Akeem Olajuwon. Houston turned him down. Now, I was asking him, too, about power forward Charles Oakley and his status. And Grunwald said that after talking with him at the end of the season, he felt that Toronto has as good a chance as anybody of signing Charles, even though the rumor is he would like to land in L.A. with Phil Jackson. But either way, Antonio Davis would certainly provide them with some insurance up front, and that's what they're looking for.
All right, thank you very much, Norma. Norma Wick in Toronto. Meantime, here in Washington at the MCI Center, the Raptors are ready. Here's the commissioner.
With the 5th pick in the 1999 NBA draft, the Toronto Raptors select Jonathan Bender from Picayune, Mississippi High School.
Jonathan Bender, a high schooler going in the top 5 of the NBA draft, 6'11", 210, and best known, as we show you his big moment, for the game he had in the McDonald's All-American High School game, because he broke a well-known scoring record in that contest. Take a look at some of the moves he shows you here, Judy.
Well, I think one thing he does, he gives you a little bit of Kevin Garnett, except he has more range. He's got excellent distance. He's got great hop. Now, he's not as thick as Garnett was at this time. Garnett was a great passer. This guy has a nice post-up game for a high school player. He can hit the long jump shot facing the basket. He runs extremely well, and he's an excellent all-around player. Now, I can see Indiana going this way. You can move Antonio Davis because you still have Sam Perkins, you know, to back up at that position. And you still have Rick Smits. Derek McKee is still there. They have an abundance of people up front.
And remember, in 1995, the number 5 pick was another high schooler, Kevin Garnett, taken by the Minnesota Timberwolves. More now from Peter Vesey. Pete?
I think what we have to understand here, as far as Charles Oakley's concerned, the Raptors have to clear his money off their cap in order to fit Antonio Davis onto it. So they will renounce him come probably August 1st. At that time, they will try to re-sign him for, $6, $7, $8 million a year, which they will have at that time. So they're going to try to keep both players, play Tony Davis at the 5, play Charles Oakley at the 4. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Peter, for some perspective on the Toronto Raptors salary cap situation there and the impending deal now with the Indiana Pacers involving Jonathan Bender. As we take a look at other high schoolers who have been drafted, and Al Harrington was taken by Indiana, didn't get much clock this past year, 25th last year. Tracy McGrady beginning to come into his own with Toronto, Kobe Bryant, Jermaine O'Neal, and of course the standard Kevin Garnett. Back with more at the MCI Center after this.
What's taking them so long?
I guess you're it.
When the going gets tough, the tough get Canadian. The weekend escape. Here's where we get Canadian.
There's an easier way to make pancakes. Introducing new Eggo pancakes. They're light and fluffy, like homemade. Only you make them in your toaster in just 90 seconds. Flat. Now you can also enjoy new Eggo blueberry pancakes with real blueberries.
All right, we're going to get you back to the NBA draft in just a moment, but first we want to get you caught up to date on some other news, specifically from the National Hockey League, and we'll start things off in Philly, where the Flyers and Eric Lindros made it official. They had a handshake agreement a year ago, and today Lindros signed a one-year contract extension worth $8.5 million. Earlier this month, Lindros was given medical clearance after suffering a collapsed lung late in the season. Paul Kariya would have become a free agent, but he has signed a new deal to stay in Anaheim. The contract is said to be worth $30 million over 3 years. Kariya had the third highest point total in the NHL last season with 101. And the Lightning and Sens have completed the deal that allowed GM Rick Dudley to go to Tampa. The Sens get Rob Zaminer, a second-round pick, and undisclosed cash. In exchange, Tampa Bay also gets Andreas Johansson. Now let's take you back to the NBA draft in Washington, D.C. The Minnesota Timberwolves are on the clock. They have the number 6 pick overall. So let's check out the latest from the NBA draft in Washington.
We welcome you back to the MCI Center and our continuing coverage on TNT of the NBA draft. The Minnesota Timberwolves are on the clock with the number 6 pick. Let us break down their team, and with apologies to Steppenwolf, these Timberwolves have been born to be wild. Hold your yucks. First, free agent Tom Gugliotta left for warmer pastures in Phoenix with the Suns. And then you have the Stephon Marbury situation. He's the next to leave after he forced a trade in midseason to the New Jersey Nets. And now the magic carpet ride, if you will, faces their replacements. Point guard Terrell Brandon and forward Joe Smith are both free agents come July the 1st. So the Minnesota Timberwolves, what do you do and where do you go?
Well, you know, they're very fortunate they can go a number of ways. I mean, you can go with Szczerbiak and play Szczerbiak at small forward and get in competition. But you also have to remember, Ernie, all of the backup power forwards are all free agents along with Smith.
Let's hear who the Minnesota Timberwolves will take as we tune into the commissioner, David Stern.
With the 6th pick in the 1999 NBA draft, the Minnesota Timberwolves select Wally Szczerbiak from Miami University.
Father and son right there, Wally and Walt. And he had said earlier, when I hear my name picked, it'll probably be the biggest smile I've ever had. And it's tough to imagine anyone bigger than that. Wally Szczerbiak, drafted number 6 here in the first round by the Minnesota Timberwolves. Saw his dad play, didn't you, Hubie?
Yes, I did. And his father, Walt, was an outstanding player and one of the truly great players in the history of FIBA basketball. Real Madrid was a powerhouse at the time, and he was one of the premier players. Now, you got to love the kid, because during his career at the University of Miami, he shot it over 50% and over 43% in threes. And on the Goodwill team at the Gold this summer at Madison Square Garden, he played big along with Elton Brand and led the team, the United States team, to a goal. He can score on the perimeter. He can post you up a little bit, not great, but he also has a nice medium game.
John?
Well, you know, the thing that you get with this kid, and everybody's crying in the NBA now about outside scoring. You know, outside shooters have gone the way of the dodo bird. They have become extinct. And I think that this is a kid who's absolutely a pure shooter and very capable of getting his shot in the right situations.
I'll tell you what, we played him. He's a great kid and a terrific shooter, probably the best in this draft. He's got toughness, which makes him stand out, but his lateral movement suspect, and he's limited athletically. I think he's going to have a very difficult time coming off and breaking down a 3 off of a screen. What he will do, though, is stretch you. I think he's a perfect pick for Minnesota because the defense has to get out to him, and he has the deep range. He's an unbelievable shooter, given just a little bit of time. He's got a very quick release, and he's got deep range. NBA range will not have to be acquired. He's there already.
On the personal side for Wally Szczerbiak, and we told you this story as the night goes on, he and his father, and Walter was a star in Spain for Real Madrid, as Hubie noted, in the ABA for the Pittsburgh Condors, and he still holds the Spanish League single game record with 65 points. Wally was born in Madrid, and there's a good look at his proud father, Walter Szczerbiak. Let us go to Craig Sager, who's with his son.
Well, thank you very much, Ernie. Let's see that smile. You said you have the biggest smile of your life. I talked to you right after your workout in Minnesota. You really wanted to go there. You like the place. Why do you fit so well with the Wolves?
I just had a great workout, and I was so happy. I got along real well with Kevin McHale and Flip Saunders, and they just made me feel real comfortable. And that's my most important thing, to get along with management, players, coaches. And I just felt like I had a home there when I worked out, so I couldn't be more excited. It was a great team, made the playoffs, and you know, I want to be a winner, and I'm going to a winner, so hopefully I can bring them to the next level. I'm real excited to hopefully contribute next year.
When did you personally feel that you had shed the small school label of Miami of Ohio?
I think when I played in the Goodwill games and played with the Elton Brands and Andre Millers and all the guys that I was sitting back in the green room with and really did well, that's when I first shed it off. And then throughout this season in the NCAA tournament, I was kind of able to play very well at that time too. So that's pretty much when it all started.
You still go back home on Sunday mornings and play those pickup games with your dad, with former St. John's legend Al Seiden and the rest of the older generation?
Yeah, I want to say hello to all my boys back home, all my friends, and it's just great to be going to Minnesota. I'm gonna, if Minnesota wants me there in the summer, I'll work out there, but I'd love to go home and spend a lot of time with friends, and I'm gonna be there Sunday morning, looking forward to playing with all the guys again, and they'll be real proud and happy for me.
Known as the best shooter in the draft, he's on his way to Minnesota. We're on our way back now to Ernie.
And I'll tell you one thing about the boys back home. They're going to say, I know who's paying for breakfast this morning. It's you, number 6 pick in the NBA draft, Wally Szczerbiak, going to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Let us check in with another one of our correspondents now. Scott Hastings is out there in Los Angeles to cover the Lakers and the Clippers. And what are your thoughts on what the Clippers did here with Lamar Odom after Baron Davis wasn't there, Scotty?
Well, actually, I talked with Jeff Weltman earlier ago, as the director of player personnel, who is very excited. They got Lamar Odom as the best player in the draft. They felt that they had a crazy week. He missed some appointments. That's why he dropped a little bit. But they're very excited. They say that he has to define his position. He'll probably gain some weight, but like Kenny Smith said earlier, can play a lot of positions. 3 and 4 will be natural. They think he can play some 2. Also just got off the phone with Randy Whitman, who's an assistant coach with the Minnesota Timberwolves, and they are ecstatic about Wally Szczerbiak being there at number 6. They thought Bender coming up to 5 really opened the door for him. That's who they had earmarked. That's who they wanted this whole time. So they're very excited about Wally. 2 teams very happy, Ernie.
Hey, Scott, did Witt have anything to say about the Cleveland job for which he is a candidate?
He said absolutely nothing. I didn't go there. He's too good of a friend.
Oh, come on. You're hurting me now, Hastings. That's all right. We'll tackle that later when we talk to Bob Lorenz in Cleveland as the Cavs continue to look for a head coach after the firing after this season of Mike Fratello. By the way, folks, you may log on to NBA.com for pick-by-pick coverage of the draft. Profiles, stats, and expert analysis for the NBA's next generation of stars is only a mouse click away. You may overload. If you have us on and then you have the computer out there and you're surfing the net, how much NBA draft can you get? And we're only about 45 minutes into it, which began at 7:30 Eastern time here at the MCI Center here on TNT. Ernie Johnson and Hubie Brown and John Thompson and Rick Majerus are here at your service. We are 6 picks through. The number 7 pick belongs to the Washington Wizards. That's the home team. And if you're the Wizards and you have Mitch Richmond, who is a free agent, how confident are you that he's going to be back, and where do you go?
Well, I think only Wes Unseld and management understand what they can do with him. But right now, they can go in any direction, Ernie. They need a center, they need a power forward, and if they're not going to re-sign Richmond, they need a shooting guard.
Let us go to the Commissioner David Stern with the Washington Wizards pick.
7th pick in the 1999 NBA Draft, the Washington Wizards select Richard Hamilton from the University of Connecticut.
They seem to like it here at the MCI Center.
About time.
The Co-Big East Player of the Year, along with Tim James, and I know you're familiar with this guy, John Thompson.
I've seen him too much. I've seen him too much.
You're too familiar with him.
Too familiar with him. And nothing could be happier than to see him in a Wizard Celtics uniform because now I can root for him as opposed to rooting against him. This kid can shoot the basketball. He reminds me a lot of Reggie Miller in terms of his ability to use screens. He's used to being banged because he's had to hit man on him a lot. He can shoot the doggone ball. He's a good player. Very good player.
There's our first hug of the Commissioner David Stern, and it comes from Richard Hamilton, chosen by the home team here, the Washington Wizards. He is the first team All-American, 6'6", 185. From the national champions, the Yukon Huskies.
Well, one of the things that I think that this kid really does is I think he hits big shots in big situations. A lot of people talk about good shooters, but when you can shoot, I've just seen him shoot that shot so many times that I don't even want to describe him anymore to anybody.
He averaged nearly 22 points a game and 5 rebounds and about 3 assists.
Well, I think if you go back over his career, especially his junior year, every big game they played, he was able to get 20-plus points and take a few shots to get it. He shoots a good percentage. He has the range. He's a whippet in the open floor. Great pick for Washington.
Let's talk about the big moment in Richard Hamilton's career, and it would obviously come in the NCAA championship game, the win over Duke, as he scored 27 points, was voted the most outstanding player of the Final Four, and led the Huskies to the national championship. A great moment in March for Richard Hamilton, and perhaps an even better moment tonight for him as he is chosen in the first round of the draft. He's a lottery pick, and he's with Craig.
Well, let's talk about this ride you're on, Richard. You go from an NCAA title, now to the excitement of being Washington's #1 pick. How do you describe the two or compare them?
This is an opportunity of a lifetime. I'm just blessed. I thank the Lord, for bringing me here and making everything so great for me. I'm just happy just to be here right now.
What about the Wizards? Not too far from your hometown of Coatesville.
Oh, most definitely. I think it'll be a great opportunity for me. I met Rod Strickland. He's a good player, and I would love to play with him, and they got good people around him, and it'll be a great opportunity for me to come in and play.
Well, even if the entire town of Coatesville showed up here, your mom, Pamela, knows they couldn't fill one section. That ovation you got here, close to home, talk about what it's been like for you the past couple of days.
Actually, it's just been a lot of work, a lot of long hours, staying in prayer about the situation with Richard, hoping that he was somewhere where he was comfortable and felt good, and people were able to come around his support fan base. Coatesville was able to come and share this happy moment and everything with him. So I'm extremely happy about it. I'm extremely happy about it. I'm very proud of him.
Any advice you gave him before the draft or before that big title game when he won a title?
He got that guardian angel on his lapel. That's all he needed.
Okay, thanks a lot. Congratulations. Let's go back to Ernie.
So the Washington Wizards get a whippet, in the words of Hubie Brown, in the form of Richard Hamilton, the 2-guard out of Yukon, going here #7 in the first round of the draft. The Cleveland Cavaliers are up next. They have 2 picks here in the first round. And the state of the Cavalier franchise, well, let's take a look at that. Who is the head coach is one big question, Hubie.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. But you're dealing with a team that had its first losing season in 8 years. You're talking about a team that is accustomed to playing at playoff time. With all of their injuries this past year, they just missed out in the final week of the season. Now, Alglauskas will be coming back. Kemp will be coming back. They have Henderson at small forward. They could go for a scoring small forward with range because of their post-up people. They could also go for a point guard. And I wouldn't be shocked if they went that way either, because they'd like to get a little bit more size in scoring there.
They have 2 of the next 4 picks here in the draft, and let's go to Cleveland now and Bob Lorenz, and let's start with the head coaching situation. What are you hearing, Bob?
Well, all we hear is the official word from the new GM, Jim Paxson, and he says that no decision has been made officially on who the head coach will be. So if we take that at face value, the list is down to 2 for the Cavaliers. Randy Whitman, the Timberwolves assistant, has been mentioned prominently, as well as Charlotte Hornets, the former head coach there, Dave Cowens. Now, the downside, I guess, if you're looking at Whitman, he would be a first-time head coach, and he doesn't have the big name value of a Dave Cowens. The upside, though, he might be a better value salary-wise, and as a first-time head coach, he would bring a fresh philosophy to the Cavaliers, and they are looking for a change. And first-time coaches, as we know, are getting more of a look these days. Now, as for what they do with the 8 and 11 picks, Hubie is dead on. They need somebody to put the ball in the hole. The Cavaliers last season averaging about 86 points per game, I mean, the Cleveland Indians score about that many a game, so they need to gig up the offense. Guys that are still out there, if they go a little smaller, Andre Miller, Jason Terry. If they decide to go a little bigger, Ron Artest's name has been mentioned. James Posey, a local kid from Xavier, of course, who played at Xavier. And dare they go big at 11, Yugoslavian center Alexander Radojevic has been mentioned as well. So a lot of possibilities here with 2 picks so close together, Ernie.
All right, thank you, Bob. That is Bob Lorenz joining us from Cleveland. And this is a team, when Mike Fratello was fired, when they said they need some more excitement, that was Gordon Gunn's determination that this team had gotten a little stale. We'll see what direction they go here with the number 8 pick. Here's the commissioner.
With the 8th pick in the 1999 NBA draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select Andre Miller from the University of Utah.
What you didn't see was the high five given by John Thompson to Rick Majerus as his Utah Ute point guard. Andre Miller is chosen number 8. Proud moment for him and for you, Rick.
I'm really happy for Andre. I'm happier for his mother. He's got just a great family, and his high school coaches here in the stands, Mike Carney. I mean, this is a nice day for Andre. He's a nicer guy than he is a player, and he's a great player. He's a great competitor. Terrific in the open court. I want to tell you, this is the best passer in the draft. He can feed the post. He can pass it ahead in transition and find the open man in the fast break. He's very efficient and tight with his game, and he can draw and kick it in the half court. He's superb at coming off a pick and roll, pick and pop. His shooting might be a bit of a liability, but I'll tell you something, his heart's there. He was our most competitive player, our best rebounder, and let me lay this stat on you. The last 100 games he's played were 87-13.
That is a stat for you. Keith Van Horn, Michael Doliak, and now Andre Miller. All first round, all lottery picks in the NBA draft.
Oh, the Goodwill Games, I thought he was outstanding because he has excellent court vision. And Rick hit it right on the head. He'll get the ball up ahead to the players that are filling the lanes. Also, he's an excellent defender, and then when he has his total game together, he's close on a triple-double. And by that we mean not only with the points and the assists, but he is a terrific rebounder for a point guard.
There you see his middle game, his pull-up game. Here you see his active hands. There you see him again. He is a deceptive defender. He is the highest assist-to-turnover ratio in this draft and the best of all the point guards in the draft at getting to the foul line. He's got 3 or 4 speeds, which is imperative for a point guard to have. Obviously, I'm prejudiced here, but I'm so happy for him. He's come from so far back in the pack, and his mom is just the nicest. Congratulations to him.
Hey, you don't have to apologize for that.
He's really not prejudiced. You believe it's human.
Andre Miller is picked, and he is standing by now with Craig Sager, guys.
You know, so many times we analyze the players with uncertainty. How is that player going to be? Listen to our analysts here, particularly Rick Majerus. There's no question whatsoever Cleveland got the best pick of this draft. What do you bring to the Cavs?
I think I bring stability at the point guard. I'm just looking forward to going down and coming to help the team from the start, and I'm just happy to get this over with. It's been a long year. It's been a long 4 or 5 years for me, and I'm just happy it's all winded down. It's time to move on and work harder.
Staying for your senior year helped you, don't you think?
It helped me a lot. I needed some things to work on, and I'm still working on those things, and I do still have a lot to improve on, and I'm going to do that later on down the line.
Of course, your coach Majerus is very proud of you. He also said he's proud and happy for the mother, Andrea, who's with me right now.
Terry from the University of Arizona.
So they do go the
Senators for their pick of the free agent crop. 20 years after changing the face of hockey, the WHA comes together to remember the good old days.
Playing with the kids kind of was the highlight of my whole career.
And how? We'll get down and dirty with our play.